Darkcast Network, indie pods with a dark side. Hello, and welcome back to Fuck That. Today, I am going to be talking about the cult of Twin Flames universe, where finding your soulmate isn't just a dream, it's a promise, or so they say. Picture a matchmaker, but this matchmaker is Satan, and Satan fucking hates you and you pissed him off. And that is a brief synopsis into how successful they are at matching people up with their soulmates. So the cult of Twin Flames universe was founded and is still presently active and is run by Jeff and Shaleia Divine. And their cult gained notoriety for their teaching and practices based on elements of New Age spiritualism regarding soulmates. If you listened to my episode on Love Has Won a couple of weeks ago, the topic that I discussed in New Age spirituality of twin flames, it is the same principle with this cult. Twin Flames universe became particularly controversial due to their very intense focus on the concept of twin flames, which is a very intensified variation of a soulmate. And Jeff and Shaleia would assign these twin flames to various members and encourage them to pursue these relationships romantically, no matter what the circumstances were. What I mean by that is, let's say I join Twin Flames universe. They could assign me a twin flame. It could be any person, and this person could very well be married. Their wife could be pregnant. Doesn't matter. That's my twin flame, and I should pursue it with fervor and never give up. Okay, but how fucked up is that? Seriously. So the two founders, Jeff and Shaleia, they married in 2016 after meeting online. They lived in Hawaii and they began to host a series of webinars about finding your twin flame. Essentially, it just boiled down to helping people find their soulmates. The whole philosophy of Twin Flames universe revolves around the idea that every single person on this earth has a twin flame or a soulmate. And achieving harmonious union with this person is seen as a key aspect to spiritual fulfillment. This union is supposed to be both demanding and healing, but in turn, it offers a really deep spiritual connection that you wouldn't experience in any other relationship with somebody that isn't your twin flame. According to Jeff and Shaleia, when they met, their relationship was intense, and this was their own profound twin flame journey, and that is what inspired them to help others find the same kind of spiritual and romantic fulfillment. There isn't a lot of detailed public information about either Jeff or Shaleia's personal backgrounds, but what they pitch, and this is what they say to the public, I'm going to call bullshit, but their love was so intense and it was a twin flame love that it inspired them to start Twin Flames universe. And it had absolutely nothing to do with making millions of dollars and being able to buy a Porsche, which is something that Jeff boasts about regularly on YouTube, but I digress. Jeffrey Divine was born Jeffrey Ion, and he was formerly known as Ender Iathenos, based on the book and movies Ender's Game. Who does that? This guy does. He was raised in a Catholic family in Michigan, and in high school, he was a theater kid, and he was also on the swim team. What I think is interesting about his background is several of his friends growing up said that he was very into business, and he idolized Warren Buffett. If you don't know who Warren Buffett is, he's not dead, a very successful investor due to super rich. He's also the CEO of Berkshire Hathaway. So obviously, Jeff has a business mind and is very money driven and has been since a young age. Jeff graduated from Western Michigan University's business school in 2010, and he then sold everything he had and moved to a subsistence farm in California. And this is a farm where the farmers aren't growing any crops or raising livestock for sale or for trade. They're only growing and keeping livestock to sustain themselves. So he did that after he graduated. And then in 2012, he moved to Hawaii. That's when he changed his name to Ender based on Ender's Game. And he then started a blog called Ender's Adventures. Jeff then built a shack and rented it on Airbnb. In 2012, Jeff met Megan Plant, aka Shaleia Divine, and Megan was born and raised in a Catholic family in Canada. Megan's background is hysterical to me just because it's such a diverse background. So she was studying photography. She was very, very avidly practicing Reiki. She was a self-proclaimed psychic, and she worked at a Thai restaurant. Like, what? While they met in 2012, 2 years later, in 2014, the pair began to make YouTube videos together, and thus Twin Flames Universe was officially founded in 2014, which means that their shitty cult was born in 2014. I did read Jeff and Shaleia's entire book, and I did it so you don't have to, and the book is called Twin Flames Universe: Finding Your Ultimate Lover. According to Jeff and Megan, aka Shaleia, the entire premise of Twin Flames Universe was based upon their twin flames connection. They are twin flames, they are soulmates. But I read through the book and I just feel like the passages that Jeff wrote about when he met Megan completely goes against every single thing that they say about the principle of twin flames, as well as just in New Age spirituality in general. This just doesn't feel like a true twin flames dynamic. So I'm going to read straight from the book, and it's written by Jeff on how the two met. Quote, "She messaged me that night. 'You horny?' I blinked at my computer screen. 'This woman is ridiculous.' 'Always,' I replied while brushing her off. What kind of woman messages a man for the first time like that? She doesn't even know me. Of course, we had been Facebook friends for a year. I commented something on a few of her photos. For instance, I thought she was weirdly sexy. But really, that's all that came of it. And now this? I have so many other women interested in me, and she doesn't look like America's Next Top Model." But the conversation continued, and before I realized it, I didn't even have a chance of shaking off this connection. I ignored her the best I could, but she wanted me to pursue her. I thought to myself, yeah, tough luck cookies. I'm busy with 9 million other women pursuing me. Why would I make it harder on myself than it needs to be? But the conversation with her continued. He said that before, but I digress. And within 30 minutes of talking to her, I had done something I had never done before in my 26 years of babe hunting. I asked her to marry me. There are so many things that I want to talk about in those two passages, but this would be a 7-hour long episode. I think you all get the gist, and that is why I think their cult is bullshit. According to the Twin Flames universe, this is their concept of twin flames. Central to their teachings is the idea that every person has a twin flame. This is essentially a soulmate, but it's on more of a spiritual and intense level. They offer guidance and courses to help individuals find and unite them with their twin flames. In these teachings, they teach every individual that they have a perfect other half, and this is whom they are destined to be with in a harmonious relationship. Their teachings include a mix of spiritual practices aimed at personal growth. It's not really aimed at that, but this is what they say. Self-awareness, not aimed at that either, and preparation for this ultimate union. According to the Wonder Twins, Jeff and Shaleia, twin flames are manifested from the same soul blueprint or soul essence. They believe that a soul blueprint is the same concept as DNA. It gets better. Okay, so our souls are made up with our traits. So I am a sassy bitch and my soul is made up of that trait, right? So these traits and qualities that we have and these codes that make us special little unicorns, according to Jeff and Shaleia, these are identical to our twin flames. So my twin flame would also be a sassy bitch in theory. Similarly to, according to Jeff and Shaleia, twins share identical DNA. Twin flames have the exact same soul DNA, and they share the same soul blueprint. They compare this twin flame union to the yin-yang symbol, and in a twin flame relationship, one half will be the divine masculine and the other will be the divine feminine. And this is actually a really controversial part of their cult that I'm going to be talking about later in the episode. But the whole premise of this plays really heavy into those gender stereotypes and roles. According to their cult, everybody has a twin flame, but finding your twin flame is extremely difficult and takes a lot of work. But don't worry, little bear. This is where Jeff and Shaleia are there to help. Jeff is a divine channel, and this means that he can heal people of physical ailments, diseases. He can resolve childhood traumas. I should hit him up, I guess. And he can also powerfully impact lives. Wow, truly incredible, very inspiring. So if you want to find your twin flame, you have to go through Jeff because he is a divine channel. Otherwise, you're fucked and you will lead a super lonely and unfulfilling life, and you'll die alone, probably with a lot of cats or dogs, depending on your preference. I mentioned earlier in the episode during my introduction that according to Jeff and Shaleia, your twin flame, you are meant to pursue at all costs. And I want to elaborate on that reading from another passage from their book. Quote, harmonious twin flame union is the new conscious relationship, and it starts within oneself. You become your ultimate lover now. Most importantly, the way to having it is believing you deserve it. If you don't believe you deserve it, you can't possibly have a divine love, but you were created worthy of your twin flame, who is your ultimate lover. You're designed for no one else, and they're not designed for anyone else. Even if you believe you know your twin flame and they appear happy without you, I guarantee they're not. It's just a facade, because how could they possibly be happy? You can't be with someone you're not designed to be in love with. And this you must know deep in your heart, because I know you feel it too. Ultimately, a divine romance begins and ends with the divine. A romance is a result of union with the divine, which means a relationship with the divine. What all of this really means is it doesn't matter, according to Jeff and Shaleia, if your twin flame is partnered with somebody else. Like I said, it could be, your partner, they could be pregnant and having your child. It doesn't matter. It's just a facade. And it is not your twin flame unless Jeff, who is divine and a divine channel, says so, and he blesses it, for lack of a better word. And really, that's the only way to achieve your twin flame. One of the most controversial aspects of twin flames, besides the yin and the yang, divine feminine and divine masculine, is the mirroring effect and the mirroring exercises. I'm going to read again from the book because I think it does a really good job of explaining the mirroring effect and how toxic it is. The energy of your desires and needs are highly and fully concentrated in your twin flame union. This person may even do all the same challenging things as many of your previous lovers because they are helping you to release old patterns and traumas existing within your mind, thus preventing you from your harmonious twin flame union. They do this out of love and compassion for you and for your experience and desire for wholeness. They do not do this because they are cruel, abusive, hateful, or desire to destroy the union. I feel like that is such a calculated sentence right there, and honestly slightly terrifying. Anyway, they do this to heal you and to heal themselves. Your experience with your twin flame will be unique and completely your own understanding. Twin flames always experience exactly what they need together. It gets scarier. Quote, each story is different, but one thing is always the same in twin flame union is that they will bring up each other's stuff. What do I mean by stuff? It's the childhood traumas, upsets, and pains, and it's the misaligned thoughts, patterns, and limiting beliefs we find ourselves stuck in. Especially, it's the out of alignment with love and our divine self decisions that we've been making over and over again, sometimes repeating lifetime after lifetime in a repetitious karmic cycle. When this stuff comes up to the surface, it's often very uncomfortable because you are strongly attached on some level to your ego. But you're encouraged by your twin flame to look at it and clear it. Why do they seem to upset you? Because they love you and because they are you. They desire to see you grow and become the best version of you, your divine self that you can be. They are also intrinsically motivated to do so because they are so intimately interwoven with you, and they too desire to be the best version of themselves. This is basically what we call the twin flame mirroring effect. And according to Jeff and Shaleia, this mirroring occurs because both you and your twin flame share the same consciousness. But this just sounds incredibly toxic. While you are in the pursuit of your harmonious twin flame union, you are supposed to practice the mirror exercise. And this mirror exercise is meant to take back power from anything in your life that makes you unhappy. And you use this mirror exercise whenever you're upset. The two examples that Twin Flames Universe gives is, 1, I'm upset at my twin flame because they're not communicating with me. And 2, I'm upset at my twin flame because they do not want to be with me. The first step in this exercise is to write out one concise sentence of what exactly is upsetting you. You are supposed to try to understand what exactly your core upset is, and then you're supposed to write it down and turn it into a sentence based on whatever you're upset about. You need to determine the who, what, why, where, and when. Step 2, you write the sentence from the first step over again, but you shift the focus to yourself. So if you were talking about being upset at your twin flame because they're not communicating with you or they don't want to be with you, you shift the subject to yourself. When somebody is doing something to you that is harmful and making you upset, you're supposed to then switch it to you because you're upset with yourself. And that is incredibly sound logic. So this is obviously deeply rooted in psychology. I'm sure that there are journal articles and literature reviews up the wazoo proving that this is fundamentally healthy. So step 3. You need to then sincerely ask yourself if there's any truth to that statement, but the answer will always be yes. So you are always going to be upset at yourself for anything, even if somebody did something to you. Step 4, speak to the inner part of yourself, which is causing the problem, and love yourself until you experience peace, relief, and completion within. So it is obvious why the mirroring exercises are very controversial, and there have been people within the Twin Flames universe that have suffered from mental health issues. Unfortunately, there was one person that did take their own life. So I think it's really important, whether you're looking at a cult or any organization that are encouraging these really intense exercises, that they have some kind of actual theory that it's rooted in. I think with any kind of organization, obviously including a cult, you need to have some kind of expert in the field that is advising. I can't imagine how detrimental it is for somebody to take any upset and wrongdoing that somebody else does to them and then reframe it and then blame themselves. Joining Twin Flames Universe reminds me a lot of joining the Church of Scientology. It involves enrolling in courses and becoming a part of an online community, but all of this comes with a very hefty price tag. So first off, the Twin Flames Universe leverages their online presence to attract potential members. They have a very well-established website, which is filled with resources, testimonials, detailed descriptions of their philosophy on twin flames, and it is through this online portal that the initial seeds of curiosity are sown. Once you land on their website, you're greeted with a various array of courses, webinars, personal coaching sessions, and these are all centered around finding and uniting you with your twin flame. They guarantee it. These resources are not just informational, but they're designed to draw you deeper into the Twin Flames universe's unique worldview. And honestly, from an outside perspective, Who wouldn't want to find their soulmate, this intense connection that these people preach that they can connect them with? But here's the kicker, like I said before, none of it's free. Joining the Twin Flames universe, as well as climbing their ranks, involves a very intense financial commitment. Members are encouraged to enroll in various classes and coaching sessions, and they each have their own cost, and they add up quickly. Just to give you an idea, their Twin Flames Ascension School costs $3,333. Their Life Purpose class is $3,333. The Everything package, which includes those, is $8,888. But those aren't the only costs. If you want to become a coach, or if you want to stay in the organization or move up or develop some kind of role in the organization, you will incur more costs. In fact, one of the most common ways that I think that they scam their members is they will encourage a member to be in charge of their media or become a coach or this, that, and the other. They will do all of this work for free, but they will also pay the organization to take classes or webinars that teach them how to do this. But again, once you join and you take those webinars that cost you $9,000 and then some change, you can then be on your way to the Harmonious Twin Flame Union. And this Harmonious Twin Flame Union takes place within 4 stages. Stage 1 is the decision. And this stage involves you deciding to be with your twin flame, which means you have already acquired them inside yourself. Stage 2 is the meeting. And in this stage in the Harmonious Union, it comes after you make a decision, you manifest your twin flame, and you then decide that you want to meet them. Stage 3 is the upset. And I just love how they keep coming back to this. They just keep mentioning how shitty it's going to be. They're basically saying, hey, this is going to guarantee abuse, but it's totally worth it. So in stage 3, the upset, you will experience upset a majority of the time, but it is apparently the most important stage for you to pass through during your life when it comes to keeping your twin flame. This goes back to the mirroring and the twin flame upsetting their partner. Remember, that doesn't mean that it's abusive or unhealthy, because they do it because they love you. And stage 4, I hate this term, unconditional love. But in stage 4, unconditional love, you decide, you work through misalignment, and then you remove any obstacles between you and your twin flame. Like I said, this could be a pregnant partner, it could be a spouse, they could be married, it doesn't matter. You got to remove those obstacles. Unfortunately, with this cult, one of the obstacles that they have manufactured and fabricated could be somebody not identifying as what they need to identify as, or somebody that is not attracted to the partner that they should be attracted to. But before I elaborate on that, I want to give some more detail on their Divine Masculine and Feminine course, which is what plays into this. The Divine Masculine within the framework of Twin Flames universe is associated with qualities that are traditionally linked to masculinity, but it's approached from a spiritual angle. So this encompasses attributes such as strength, decisiveness, protection, and assertiveness, because apparently these are only attributes that men can have. That's news to me. And within the Twin Flames universe, this concept is not strictly about gender in a conventional sense, but it's about a type of energy or role that is deemed essential within a twin flame dynamic. So according to the Twin Flames universe, you have to either be divine feminine or masculine. So the divine masculine is seen as embodying leadership qualities and is often portrayed as the driving force in the relationship, which provides direction and stability. In contrast, the divine feminine is characterized by qualities like intuition, emotionality, and nurturing. So we're sensitive, caring, and we create a balance with the more action-oriented divine masculine. The divine feminine energy complements the divine masculine, and it's considered equally important even though we're not action-oriented and we're emotional, but it's important to maintain the equilibrium of the relationship. In the belief system of the Twin Flames universe, a harmonious relationship is achieved when one partner embodies the divine masculine and the other partner embodies the divine feminine. And this is a requirement because it is a balance that is viewed as the cornerstone for spiritual and personal growth within the twin flame union. The interaction between these energies is believed to deepen the connection between the partners, which then promotes a union that is both spiritually fulfilling and personally transformative. However, this may come as a shock to you, but this approach has obviously been met with criticism and controversy. Critics argue that the Twin Flames universe's emphasis on these divine roles enforces rigid and very strict binary gender roles, which they absolutely do. This obviously causes concern that individuals may feel pressured to conform to specific identities or behaviors that do not align with their authentic selves. And it has. The application of these spiritual roles has been critiqued for leading to harmful or restrictive practices within the group, particularly concerning gender identity and relationship dynamics. According to their book, there are two polarities and you can only be one. So you're either 100% masculine at your core or you're 100% feminine at your core. This is the problem. When you're enforcing these gender roles, you are promoting a heteronormative model of relationships, and this doesn't account for people that have a diversity of gender identities and relationship dynamics. This doesn't apply to anybody outside of that, and it's something that is pushed within this organization. There are many members of the group that have come out and said that they felt pressured to conform to these assigned roles that Jeff and Shaleia gave to them. And this led to significant changes in their personal identity, lifestyle, and their physical appearance. And this pressure is particularly concerning in terms of gender identity, where you might make somebody feel compelled to adopt a certain gender expression that aligns with this cult's spiritual teachings rather than their own authentic identity. If you watch the documentary on Netflix, it's really good, but it's a lot to take in because there are members that have experienced this that have spoken out about their experiences with Jeff, particularly telling them that they're actually not divine feminine, they're divine masculine or vice versa, and really pushing them into this role that they do not align with. Alternatively, there have been people that have identified as heterosexual or gay that have been encouraged to pursue partners that were the opposite of what they were attracted to. And a lot of these members have come out about how damaging this was to them. Needless to say, joining the Twin Flames universe means that you are going to give up a lot of control over your personal life. And Twin Flames universe has been embroiled in a web of accusations concerning its influence on members' personal lives. Beyond forcing their beliefs regarding divine feminine and divine masculine energy, they also push a lot of people to sever ties with their own families in pursuit of quote unquote soul families, which is something that the organization has made up. And this controversy extends even to former partners or people already in committed relationships outside of the group. Jeff's teachings encourage a relentless pursuit to these twin flames, regardless of existing commitments or the ethical dilemmas that they may pose. And adding to the complexity, Jeff just kept making shit up. Twin Flames universe wasn't enough. In fact, Jeff, in a meeting with members, asked how he could stop paying as much in taxes or essentially make more money. And he came up with the idea of establishing a religious organization, which he did, called the Church of Union. He also established Divine Dish as a means to control what members of Twin Flames universe ate. And this dictated dietary habits. Members were expected to strictly adhere to these dietary guidelines, which many former members have claimed led to weight gain and health issues, which really just demonstrates the pervasive control that Jeff wanted to have over members' lives. He also made some stupid fucking company called Divine Gaming. But the only thing I could find was like these bullshit Minecraft streams. And I play more video games than I want to admit. So I'm not even going to entertain that bullshit. It's just sad. But I will talk about the Church of Union because it is a lot. They actually show this meeting on the Netflix documentary that I had mentioned a few times in the episode, where Jeff was specifically talking about how he could just pay less money in taxes. And he was like, I'm going to establish a religion. So that's literally how the Church of Union came about. Jeff eventually began to compare himself to Jesus Christ. He took it further and began to compare pictures of himself to Jesus Christ. And he eventually declared himself as the second coming of Christ, to which, in a recorded meeting, Shaleia responded with, I'm banging the Christ. These two are an atheist's wet dream. Let me tell you. I can't. The Church of Union live streams every Sunday. Have you ever seen the episode of South Park where everybody's buying electric cars and they get smug and they start to sniff their own farts? Like they bend over and they put their head between their legs and they start to smell their own farts. Jeff, this dude, he sniffs his farts multiple times a day. Unsurprisingly, there has been a lot of scrutiny and criticism against Jeff and Shaleia and the Twin Flames universe. There were ex-members as well as relatives of ex-members that spoke out publicly against Twin Flames universe. And therefore, Jeff and Shaleia decided that they wanted to file suit. In 2020, Jeff and Shaleia filed lawsuits against 7 ex-members and 1 parent of a member. The lawsuit alleged defamation, interference with contractual relations, and civil conspiracy. This allegedly stemmed from harassment via social media and false statements to Vice. In 2021, the lawsuit was dismissed for lack of jurisdiction. The judge noted the, quote, apparent bad faith, end quote, behind the suit, which I think is a very significant point to consider. The way I read that is, I think it suggests that the court saw that the lawsuit was potentially frivolous or unjustified, and thus it was dismissed. In response to the media scrutiny and allegations, the Twin Flames universe did make public statements emphasizing their commitment to love, ethical practices, and autonomy of their community members. I am going to read the word salad statement. Quote, we appreciate the opportunity to address several concerns raised in recent headlines and documentary productions about our community. Our primary objective continues to be the development of a community that is both diverse and inclusive. Wait, what? Joined together by common values, principles, and goals. Those who enter our community and become students are treated with love, acceptance, and support. This will never change, and we continue to love those who moved on and wish only the best for those who ultimately decide to follow their journey elsewhere. Our organization is staffed by a multidisciplinary team of experts. No, it's not, including PhD researchers and educators from around the globe, all coming together with unique experiences and backgrounds. Each of us has dedicated ourselves wholly to ethical conduct and the welfare of our community. We'd like to emphasize that our educational content and methodologies are tailored to provide a unique path for both personal and spiritual development and fulfillment. We recognize our methods may not align with everyone's unique beliefs or needs, and we honor the freedom of individuals to explore other options they feel best elevate their spiritual well-being. We are devoted to ongoing refinement and welcome meaningful conversations with all interested parties. We take seriously recent allegations implying we wield inappropriate control over our community members. After a careful review of both media coverage and recent productions, we are saddened that so much effort has gone into taking swipes at an organization and community founded on love and mutual respect. The allegations levied against Twin Flames Universe not only distort our true aims, methods, and curriculums, but misrepresent the autonomy of our community members who are free to engage with our resources as they see fit. We are committed to confronting these allegations in an open and accountable manner. Twin Flames Universe will continue to foster an atmosphere of open discussion. We welcome constructive feedback as these are crucial for mutual growth and understanding. Our unwavering commitment is to maintain a secure, respectful, and uplifting space for anyone who wishes to join or engage with our community. Despite the allegations and criticisms, Twin Flames Universe still has a significant following and continues to operate, with Jeff and Shaleia Divine defending their practices and denying claims of running a cult. As of November of 2023, they have 14,000 members in their private Facebook group and almost 19,000 subscribers on YouTube. And there you have it, the convoluted world of Twin Flames Universe, which is tangled in spirituality, controversy, and a shit ton of cash. Jeff and Shaleia will sell you the dream of finding your cosmic other half, but at what cost? Sure, finding your soulmate sounds fantastic. I think it's something that most of us are looking for, but remember, when spirituality starts costing you thousands of dollars and it starts to make you change who you are as a person, I think it's time to step back and question what you've gotten yourself into. So is Twin Flames Universe a path to enlightenment or a ticket to delusion? I'm going to let you be the judge of that, but here's my word of advice. Trust your gut because that bitch knows what's up. If you liked what you heard today, please subscribe, leave me a review. Check out Patreon at fthatpod if you want to listen to all of my archived episodes, as well as bonus episodes, as well as a private Discord community. You can find me on all social media, including YouTube at fthatpod, except for Instagram, which is fthat_pod, and the website is fthatpod.com.